pension leaves the onus and the risk on the boss. A 401k is a savings plan that is a risk to you in retirement. So if you amassed, I'll just use today's money, $500,000, what does it cost for you to live in retirement? $40,000? In 10 years, you done add up $400,000. Every year you live longer, you're eating up that money till you have nothing. With a pension, if you retire with a pension and the pension is $2,000 a month, let's just use a low number. That $2,000 a month will follow you no matter how long you live. The risk of that pension going bad is on the boss. The risk of your 401k is on you. If you have a 401k, your money's invested in something. When the stock market crashed, you could go from having $500,000 to $20,000. And I'm using what just happened back here in 2007, 2008. Most people lost 60, 70% of the value. You understand what I'm saying? If you were with Bethlehem Steel, or if you were a longshoreman, they had to write a check, regardless of what that stock market does. You get a check every month. You're guaranteed. You could count on your money, and that's the difference. So one puts the risk on you. And see what's happening with most people when they get a 401k, they borrow. So by the time they retire, they ain't got no real savings. They got 50, 60,000. The average 401k when people retire, 60,000, maybe 100,000, they're lucky. Because they're being made to believe that because the companies have been in the business of shifted health costs. At one time it used to be 100% paid for by a company. They shifted it off and says, well, you know, if you pay some, you're going to be more responsible. I didn't get sick because I was irresponsible. I got sick because I got sick. Because the thing you gave me hit me in the head. That's why I got sick. So so systemically, they have been trying to convince workers that the workers had some need to be responsible for something they had no shot. They call no, you know.
So that'll make them less obligated.
Exactly. I mean, when the stock market fell the other day, right? Detroit froze up. Who paid for that? The worker. Cuts in pay, cuts in future retirement earnings, cuts in health and pension contributions. No boss paid for that. It's his liability. That's exactly right. It's his liability. In fact, if he wanted to pull out, there's a thing called withdrawal liability. You have to pay that pension fund, right? Could be 50 million. I use UPS. UPS pulled out of Central State's pension fund. They wrote him a check for $6 billion to get out because they did not want the responsibility. You understand what I'm saying? So this is a struggle, and so you as a young worker, Social Security is not enough. If you maximum Social Security right now is about $2,400 a month. And in order for you to get $2,400 a month, you had to be making over $100,000 a year when in income. Now, $100,000 a year to $25,000 a year. You understand what I'm saying? Now you have a pension, you might get $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year. So we as trade unionists have to fight when we hear that workers are going to lose a pension, even though they might not be in the union. We have to go and stand up with them to make sure and protect them, because if there's a disconnect, you know, between what they have and what we have as unionized workers, they're not going to be interested in us. When the boss comes to confront us, he'll be like, yo, I ain't got it, why should you have it? You know, because misery love company. So we have to make sure that there is no misery in the working class. See, the union is the vanguard of the working class. We are the soldiers of the working class. We have to make sure that the working class is protected. And what has happened is we have abdicated that role. I'll give you a simple one. Equal pay for equal work that women talk about.
Yeah.
If you're working in a union shop and you run a crane, you get the same pay as a man who runs a crane, as a white man who runs a crane, as a Puerto Rican who runs a crane. The union contract created equality in the workplace.